every day moon seems to us different. We are doing moon and the artificial satellites. We have completed up till the second part. There is no life on the moon. So, and what is the gravity of the moon? 1.6. Can you tell me? Yes, why it is visible to us? Every day it is, actually it is rotating, no? On the Earth orbit, if suppose it is the Earth, and on its orbit, the moon is rotating itself as well as it is being rotating itself and revolving around the surface of the Earth or orbit of the Earth. So which portion is visible? Earth is not only the India, Earth is not only the America, and Earth is not only the South America. So the which portion is visible to that country, specific country? The countryman of that place only see, or the place where it is to be seen, only that part is seen to us. So it seems different portions of the moon we can see every day. Understood? So it is the way why the moon is having the different shapes, because it is rotating in the orbit, and the portion which is visible to us, we think we see only that portion, and that is visible to us. That's why we think it is visible. Now if we see, there are different phases. First is the new moon. When the moon is in between the Earth and the sun, when it is in between the Earth and the sun, you cannot see the moon at all. This is called the new moon. So this is the phase of the new moon, because in this condition, it is in between the Earth and the sun. So Earth is a opaque object, and moon is also an opaque object. So the rays of the sun, which is moon reflecting the rays of the sun, but Earth cannot reflect it. So as moon is reflecting back the rays of the sun, and Earth is in between them, so it is restricting the rays to fall on the moon, and it becomes dark. So we cannot see the moon in the first or the new moon phase. Second phase is the crescent moon. When little bit rays are reaching, that is in the she shape, or the moon moves further, you can see the small sunlight reflecting from the moon. So this portion is only which is in the C shape. So we can see only this shape moon, and this shape of moon is reflecting back the sunlight as it is getting the sunlight. So this shape is called the crescent moon. Now after the crescent moon, gradually we can see the half portion of the moon, and as it is rotating, so little bit gradually it is being clear to us. Gradually the parts are just visible to us. So when the half of the portion of the moon is visible to us, that time we say this is the half moon. And when 2/3, or you can say the 1/4 remaining, and that means the 2/3 portion or the 3/4 portion of the moon seems to us, and this shape of the moon is called the gibbous moon, because only 1/4 portion of the moon we cannot see. So it is a gibbous moon, and this is the full moon when it comes thoroughly in front of our eyes. So this is the full moon is visible to us, and this moon which is seen to us as a whole, that moon is called the this is the full moon, or we can say this is, what is it, Amavasya or Purnima? Which one is it? It is the full moon is actually Purnima, isn't it? In Bengali we call them Purnima. Yes, it is Purnima. Now the next crescent moon, all the phases are, yes, it is Purnima. Swastika has told. Now again it will reverse back the position. So reversing back the position means from the full moon it will start. So the full moon again reduces to the gibbous moon. Gibbous moon reduces to the half moon. Half moon reduces to the crescent moon, and crescent moon again comes to the new moon. So this activity in a whole month we can see 2 times, isn't it? So and the Purnima comes once in a month, and Amavasya also comes once in a month. So it is the whole process takes 27 and 8 days, or you can say almost 28 days. Okay, so this is the all about the phases of the moon. The increasing size of the lighter part of the moon is called the waxing size. When it is increasing, that means it is being enlightened. No moon, then crescent is seen to us, then half is seen to us. So lightening portion is increasing, isn't it? So the increasing phases of the moon is called the waxing phase. Okay, so it is called the waxing phase, or when lighted part of the moon is called the waxing phase, or the waxing side of the moon. After this, the cycle reverses and the size of the moon again decreases, appear as gibbous, then half, then crescent, and then no. Then the decreasing size of the lighted part of the moon is called the waning. So when again it started to lighted portion become reduces. So at first it is the increasing of the lightning position. When it is increasing the lightning position at first, the new moon, that means no there is no light on the moon, and then again you will see yes, now you will see this is the new moon. So it is new moon, then increases to the crescent moon, then half moon, then gibbous moon, then full moon. So this is the increasing phase. So this increasing when the light phase is increasing, that means at first no, then little bit we can see, then more than little bit, half, then gibbous, then full. So it is the increasing phase of light. So this increasing phase of light is called waxing phase, or the waxing of moon. Okay. And now when it is decreasing, that means from the full moon it reduces its light to become the gibbous moon, then gibbous moon again reducing the light become the half moon, then half moon reduces to the crescent moon, then crescent moon reduces to the new moon. So it is the decreasing amount of the light. So this decreasing phase is called the waning moon, or you can say this is the waning phase. And in Bengali we use no Shuklo Pokho and the what is Krishna Pokho, isn't it? So Krishna Pokho is waning phase and Shukla Pokho is waxing phase. Clear to you? So these all are the phases. Now landing on the moon. You know who were the first three men who went to the moon on three American persons? Yes. Nandita, why you are saying please what? Can you please upload the question and answer? Actually, I have given it in the, all the question answers of the last chapter. Short answers and very short answer I have given in the video. YouTube, you will search it and you will get it, okay? Because my e-portal is not working well, that's why I am unable to give it in the e-portal. It is not working well. Okay, so I have given in the YouTube. You kindly copy it down from the YouTube channel. Okay, it is given there. All you search the playlist, and you will get, at last you will get all the answers. And the long answers I have marked in my last class. Okay. Now next is Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and another is in Edwin Aldrin. So these all are the name: Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, and Michael Collins. These three men were the first who landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong was the first man, and they have stepped there in 20th July 1969. Neil Armstrong and the Edwin Aldrin brought rock pieces and the soil of the moon. So we came to know what is the texture of the moon, what type of surface is there. Now lot of information we came to know about the moon from these samples. Now what is the which year India launched its space shuttle to the moon? It is in 2008. At first we have given the India sent its first space shuttle to the moon called Chandrayaan-1 in 2008. You just underline this line, okay? So this is important. You when the India has launched its space shuttle in the moon, that is 2008. Name of the space shuttle was Chandrayaan-1. Okay, so you just underline this. Now the national agency or Indian national agency who do this kind of scientific researches, what is the name of that? That is ISRO. What is the full form of ISRO? You know that, no? What is the full form of ISRO? Indian Space Research Organization. Okay, so launched the mission on 22nd October 2008. And what is the place? The place is Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. So state is Andhra Pradesh and the place is Sriharikota. So the first our space shuttle has been launched on 22nd October 2008 from Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Clear? So you underline this information. Now what are the eclipses? You know there are some opaque objects and there are some objects which are celestial body. Do you know what are the transparent opaque objects? What is transparent object? Anybody can tell me which objects are called the transparent object? Which objects are called transparent object? The object which allow the light to pass through it. Those objects are called transparent object, isn't? And what about the opaque object? The object which does not allow any light to cross through it. Those objects are called opaque objects. Like the wall is object, anything. We are also opaque object. Blackboard is opaque, but the glasses are transparent. And what about the translucent object? Translucent object only allow few of the rays to cross through it. Okay, so these all kind of eclipses actually bases on this theory or on this principle. So first one we should know there are two type of system. We know Earth is moving all around the sun on its orbit. We know all 8 planets are moving around the sun on its orbit, isn't it? So they are orbiting within their fixed path, and moon which is especially the natural satellite of the Earth, it is orbiting through the Earth. Okay, now what happens when in the way, in a straight line, Earth comes in between the moon and the sun, then Earth restricts, or as it is an opaque object, it does not allow sun rays to fall on the moon, and in that case moon cannot reflect its light at the back, or we cannot see, as it is unable to reflect the light of the sun, we cannot see the moon, and that time we say it is lunar eclipse. And what happens about the solar eclipse? When the sun, the moon is revolving around the Earth, so when it comes in between the sun and the Earth, and that time the sunlight is falling on the moon and on the portion, because moon is smaller than the Earth, so the whole Earth is not covered. It cannot cover the whole Earth, but the portion on which it covers, or the portion on of the Earth which is hidden from the sunlight, or sunlight cannot reach the part of which Earth, or the Earth is being not receiving the sunlight of in the specific part of the Earth which do not get the sunlight, that part is having the solar eclipse. Understood? So there are so many things, but you should have to, yes, that is the solar eclipse. Very good. So through the one more thing, on which part, if you are seeing the solar eclipse from your place, and on that particular place the sun is hidden, that portion totally, so we can see this type of ring, and this ring is called corona ring, or you can say this is the it is corona. It is the bright ring of light is called corona, but this is not the virus. This is the rays are coming out from the outer surface of the sun or the moon, which is being hidden. That is the surface, round in shape, and from which portions are being enlightened, that is the outside surface or the circumference of the moon. So it seems to us a good and you can say the ring of fire. So this is called the corona. Okay, next one we will understand the solar eclipse as this is the from the diagram. If it is sun, then earth is rotating on its own orbit. Okay, so the earth is rotating around the sun on its fixed orbit, and when the earth comes in between the moon and the sun, that time it restricted, or it just do not allow the sun rays to reach on the moon, and that time the total moon is not seen to us, or maybe the partial moon is not visible to us. If partial moon is not visible to us, that time we say it is a partial lunar eclipse, and when it is totally being restricted and the full moon is not visible to us, that time it is said to be the total lunar eclipse. Okay, so there are two type of eclipses. One is partial lunar eclipse and another is total lunar eclipse. This is the solar eclipse. So when moon is orbiting on the orbit of this earth, and it comes in between the sun and the earth in between, so the portion of the earth which is not visible, on which do not get the sunlight, in those portions the solar eclipse occurs. And solar eclipse are also the total sun is cannot be hidden, so the portions which are being hidden on the portions of the earth, on those portions only the solar eclipse occurs. Understood? If the sunlight is being hidden partially, then it is a partial solar eclipse. When it is on that particular place, or in a particular places like in a city or in a country, when the total sun is not being appeared, that time it is a total solar eclipse. But it never happens that the sun is being totally hidden by the moon. But in some areas, in some countries, in some hemisphere, it is being seen. And this type of lunar eclipse, actually it is mostly happens when it occurs the full moon night. Lunar eclipse generally occurs on a full moon light, but not in all full moon light. It happens when it comes in a straight line. So as in the solar eclipse, it always occurs in a no moonlight, but it happens only when it comes in a specific position. Not always that all no moon nights or all full moon nights are lunar or the solar eclipses. Okay, so it is on a specific day. Now you will see there are multiple choices. Moon takes to complete one revolution. What would be the answer? 27 days 8 hours, 27 days 3 hours, 27 days and 5 hours. So it should be 27 days and 8 hours. So tick it fast. Next one is the shadow of the earth and moon produces by light are called. The shadow of the earth and moon which produces by sunlight are called eclipses. Okay, now turn over the page. We will see what are the tides. I have told you the moon is having the gravitational force, but this gravitational force is actually the gravitational force which is applied to it by the earth. So it is very less in amount, or you can say it is 1/6 of the earth gravitational pull. But the regular this gravitational pull, due to this gravitational pull, the level of the water rises and goes down twice in every day. So it causes mainly two type of tides, that is called the high tides and the low tides. The moon pull on the sea water is more than that of the sun. That is because the moon is much closer to the earth, so it pulls an attraction towards the water of the ocean and the sea, and that time it attracts the water. So the water becomes high up in their level, and that time it is called the high tides. And the area between the two high tides, the water from low tide. Even day, the rotation of the earth causes two high tides and two low tides. When it pulls the least attraction, that time tides become lower up and they are not much get attracted from the moon. So it is two type of tides. One is the high tide and another type of tide is low tide, and these tides are very useful because in the time of the high tides, boats and ships can be bring it in the shore. It is enough water, let the ships come easily in the port. The knowledge of the tide is also very important, because fishermen, before going out for fishing, as in a low tide, they cannot bring their boat back. So they have to wait for the high tides, because in the high tides they can bring their boats back to the shore, because the sea water recedes away from the shore. High tides also help in generating electricity, because it has a lots of energy, so it produces electrical or hydro energy which can be used or which can be stored. Okay, so high tides are also an equally very important for us. Now Orchishman, who is playing? Okay, now Shivam, please be serious in the class. Don't do any mischief in the class. Okay, everybody is attending the class. If you are not interested, then don't attend. But when you are attending, then be quiet and be good. Okay. Now artificial satellites, we know few of the satellites are purposefully sending to the earth orbit, so that they can do some kind of work. So an artificial satellite is an human made satellite and purposely placed into the orbit around the earth or the planets to perform specific functions. We know one of the artificial satellite was Mangalyaan, or you can say Mangalyaan was the artificial satellite which sent to where? Which place? It has to be sent which place? In the which planet? Yes, it is Mars. Shohini Mukherjee has given the answer. It is Mars. So Chandrayaan has sent to the Mars, and it is also Mangalyaan is a artificial satellite which has sent to Mars. Now there are different type of satellites, but at first satellite called Sputnik, meaning the fellow traveler, was launched by Soviet Union USSR on October 4th, 1957. India has built and launched several artificial satellites. The first Indian artificial satellite, named Aryabhat, was launched on 19th April 1975. You should underline these all important informations. Some of the other Indian satellites are INSET, IRS, and that is Indian Remote Sensing Satellite, and Kalpana 1, EduSat, and Bhaskara. These all are the other artificial satellites which are sent to the space from India. So India has sent so many artificial satellites successfully, isn't it? But India was the first country, or India is the first country who sent artificial satellite in the Mars. No other country has sent here. In a first time they got success, but India got success for sending this satellite in a very first time. Okay. Now the satellites, what kind of uses of this satellite? This satellite work on various things. First, weather satellite, they take pictures and movements of the cloud and the air, and they forecast the weather. And astronomical satellite help for distance, galaxies, planet, and other space orbits. Now communication satellite, we can send messages from one country to another. Even the fax messages and internet, cellular phone, these all are actually depend on this communication satellite. Now remote sensing satellite, these are used to locate minerals, resources, underground water, land mapping. These all are, because there are so many hidden places which we cannot just identify, but through this satellite, with the help of this satellite, we can find these type of land area. Now military satellite, they are especially for spy satellites. These help in detecting the launch of the missiles, the direction of the ships at sea, and movement of the military equipments on the ground. They all senses it, and they give the report basis on this kind of spying. Now navigation satellite are used for providing geographical location on the object of the earth's surface. So we come to know in which place on geographical, through geographical locations, in which angle the things are be there. Okay. Now the last one is scientific satellite help to carry out the studies on the earth and its environment. So why the global warming is happening, what are the causes of the global warming, why the ice caps and the polar regions are being melting, these all kind of informations we came to know from these scientific satellites. Okay, and the last one is given the India launched the first interplanetary probe to the Mars Orbiter mission, and Mars Orbiter mission is also called the Mangalyaan, and this Mangalyaan arrived the orbit of the Mars after 300 days, covering over 670 million kilometer on 24th September. India became the first country in the world to reach Mars in the first attempt. This aimed to study the features and atmosphere of the Mars. Now we came to know what is the primitive conditions of the Mars. Is it life can exist in Mars or not? There are so many questions, there are so many things to invent in the Mars. So we have already launched the this type of scientific artificial satellite in Mars, and we come to know all about these informations through this satellite. Now there are two multiple MCQ questions are again there. You can see during solar eclipse dash cast in shadow on the earth. So it is moon. The solar eclipse they have given, though who will cast the shadow? Moon will cast the shadow. Now the next, the water of the sea of the side of the earth facing the moon get attracted outward, causing high tide. Okay, so write it down, and the other questions I'll write in my offline video on Monday, because Monday I will not get the one more astronaut go in the space, and this last portion I will explain, and I will tell you all the answers of this portion on Monday. Okay, so write down from there, and the last chapter will remain, which I'll take in Thursday and Friday. Next week I'll complete my course, and then I will start the revision. Okay, thank you all, and please send your attendance so that I can take your attendance. Thank you.